There are numerous adjectives out there that are used by us to describe ourselves on a daily basis. If someone were to ask me to describe myself, I'd say that I'm a maladaptive daydreamer whose imagination is loose all the time. Most of the times, my thoughts are of or related to space. Sometimes wonder, no, let me rephrase that. Most of the times wonder that if a man-made object or material in the infinite space broke up, what happens to it? A common fact we comprehend to is that it will float around, chill, grab a cool pair of shades and chill. And actually, that is what will happen. But adding a more realistic notion to that, I feel, and a more scary notion, pile up for future devastation whose effects will be to us really, really bad. Really bad, I'm telling you. Now I see questions bubbling. What? Why? Is that even possible? Well, that's what I'm here for. Good afternoon, evening, morning everybody. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Shrina Bose of grade 8 studying in St. Peter's High School, and that's what I'm here for, as I said. Now, caution alert, this is a scary topic, mind you, and I do not wish to spook all of you and be the cause of you having nightmares tonight. No. So, let's hope for the best and dive right in. Dive right in. Into what? Well, you just dived right into an EMU, also known as an extravehicular mobility unit. Does something come in mind? Okay, wait. Let me tell you. The giant white spacesuit that most astronauts wear? Looks like a marshmallow. You got it. So, imagine, close your eyes if it helps. You're in your EMU floating around in space. The spaceship you came with the help of, you're around somewhere. And you're staring at a planet. To me, it looks like a Christmas bauble, or even better, a marble with the shades of blue and green and turquoise. It looks really, really beautiful. It looks really amazing. And, well, that's planet Earth. But I severely apologize before I add on the next sentence because it will ruin your fantasy. And that is, now imagine 150,000 objects or more surrounding Earth. Crowded objects. Fortunately, for our better understanding, they have been classified using a name, which is space debris. What is space debris in short? Space debris is space junk. They could be anything. The limits are endless of whatever travels up there in space. They could be lost gloves, they could be cameras, they could also be knuckles and screwdrivers. Though, as I said, the limits are endless, and it's rubbish. Space rubbish. Imagine we are polluting space now. But as I said, it's rubbish. So, how's it dangerous? Let me tell you. Number one, these objects are far, far apart in space. So, problems arise when one object traveling at around, let's say, 28,000 kilometers per hour or 17,000 meters per hour slams into another object, causing even more pieces to travel around in space. Can you imagine that? Well, I can. I hope you can too. But just in simpler words, collisions. Second, coming into more detail of what collisions, imagine a waste object slamming into a functioning object, like a satellite for example. Let me give you an example. In 2002, a defunct Cosmos satellite slammed into a functioning iridium communication satellite, and there was a disruption in communication for 2 weeks. Now imagine, for example, you're watching television with your parents and it's your favorite movie. Until suddenly the television cuts off and you come to know that for 2 weeks there will be no more television. I don't watch television so much, so I don't know. But all those who watch television will like it, tell me. So that's that. That's the second reason. The third reason would be that these objects create what I'd say space labor. First, traveling up to space becomes even more difficult because there's a sheer blockage to travel. Imagine scientists and astronauts who have been preparing for years to go to a second, or let's just say a travel mission, and they come to another camp without causing an accident. Can you imagine so much of disappointment and distress? Then again, a more hilarious incident was when once NASA reported that flecks of paint led them to replace space shuttle wind panes. Can you imagine that? Okay, I'm saying that a lot. Let's not say it. You can imagine that, obviously, you can. And that is again hilarious yet very, very distressing. That would be the third problem. But the main problem and the most scary one, though I hope it isn't scary and I hope I'm speaking about it in a light-hearted way, is that these objects can render an orbit unstable. Can you imagine that? Oh, I need to stop saying that. I'm sorry. You can't imagine that. I'm telling you, you can't imagine that. So, can't even, it's so disappointing. You can't just think about it. Rendering an orbit unstable, it's so hard. Communication will be disrupted in masses. You won't be able to travel. There's going to be a whole lot of problems. Yes. But again, most of these objects are generally satellites. And satellites are meant to last only for a decade. So how do these objects stay there for years and years? You wonder? Okay. Most of the times, once a satellite stops working, it floats around in space until it gets dragged by Earth's atmosphere and gets pulled down. But sometimes this does not happen, and thus these objects can hang around there for centuries even. Oh dear. Yep. Now, as I said, the main question arises that can this unstable situation be stabilized? The answer is yes. Sorry, I was deliberately hesitant, but yes, there is a solution. But we will need to be a bit more steady and perseverant. We need to be filled with perseverance, and I'm sure we can do this. First of all, these objects are surrounding Earth in millions. There are 150,000 objects or more surrounding Earth at the moment, and around 30,000 objects larger than a tennis ball are being tracked by science. So yes, we are improving, but that is not the only solution. There have been ideas of space rubbish ships. My idea is the attachment of robotic arms and nets in the better collection and disposal of space debris. Also, special satellites can be arranged which will help to observe the active progress of the debris that is going to be removed. And also it helps scientists to understand that, well, can we travel up there and which route we will need to take while this debris is being removed. Also, but then, now that we're talking about the ways that we can remove debris, there should also be one way that will help us reduce debris, and that is, we should first schedule systematic timelines for satellites. They should come back on Earth after a decade, and they should be tended and repaired here on Earth rather than traveling up there in space and floating around, obviously. Yes, also causing the production of debris. That is one of the points where we can reduce debris, and we could say that, let's just say, every satellite needs fuel to travel up there. So we could also have, let's just say, how do I get this in words? Obviously, I got the point. You can use occasional fuel tanks or fuel tanks that will not be needed when you're traveling up there. So when you have to come down, the satellites have to come down, they can use the other fuel tank to come down, which helps again. But coming to the final solution, which is the biggest solution, and that is, I have asked numerous people if they know what is space debris, and most of the times the answer has come as a tag, no. So what I need all of you to do is to spread awareness and enlighten people about what it is all about, because solutions, not just one, will help this problem to reduce. There should be numerous solutions and numerous ideas, and I'm sure there will be a bright future to this problem if we as individuals come together and bring this problem to an end with the help of solutions and ideas. Until then, watch out for the space debris that falls on Earth. Yeah, space debris does fall on Earth. But again, sorry for the surprise heart attack. Sorry for the surprise heart attack. I went out. Sorry. But again, each cloud is a silver lining. So isn't most of Earth made up of water? So it's highly unlikely for you to, your house is being destroyed and the space debris falling in your backyard while you're enjoying your dinner with your family, if you know what I mean. But well, this comes to the conclusion. I come to the conclusion of why do we need to know more about space debris. Thank you.